What is God saying right now? Be in position to hear what he's saying. God will pivot and adjust us. Just when we think we know how it's going to go, God says, shift. Put that in the comments. Shift. God says shift just when you think you know how it's going to go, baby. God is like, got to shift that thing because you think you know how this going to end up, don't you? You my child, and I know that's what you thought, but you just ain't know I was getting ready to do it like this here. That's what God is saying. I'm getting ready to shift this thing and shift a slight change in direction. That's what it means. A slight change in direction. Something will be sacrificed, Abraham, just not Isaac. Small shift, small change in direction. So it's going to end up being what I said, but it's just not going to happen like you thought it was going to happen. Ooh, a slight shift, almost like shifting gears in a car. I ain't never drove a stick shift, can't drive one to save my life, never wanted to learn. It scares the living daylights out of me. But I know this one thing about a stick shift. If you don't change the gear in a stick shift, you will stall. You can try to accelerate all you want to. If you don't shift gears, you will stall. You will have no power. You won't have the power to accelerate because you refuse to shift. Acceleration comes with the shift. You see how fast God said, Abraham, Abraham. And there was the ram immediately. There was the ram tied up, waiting to be sacrificed. Oh, Lord. It's time to shift gears in the spirit. Don't get stuck and stall on what he has said. You need a right now word. A word to accelerate you. That's where the acceleration comes, in the shift. The acceleration comes in the shift. I didn't even have that in my notes. Ooh. What happens to a soldier who's marching and they mess up the rhythm of the platoon? Like, what happens if they decide that they are no longer actively listening to the commander when the commander says about face or right face or whatever they be saying? Y'all know what whatever they be saying. What happens if one soldier in that whole platoon, if one soldier is not listening to the command that's being given? What happens? He can cause somebody to fall. It'll be a ripple effect. Everybody fall. You mess up the whole entire rhythm of the sequence of what's happening. And this is what God told me about this. He says, when you are not actively listening to me, you are literally messing up the movement of heaven on earth. Y'all need to write that in your notebook. If you are not actively listening to me, says God, you are messing up the movement of heaven on earth. We're just going to let that simmer. Don't stop pushing because it get hard. Keep marching. Keep moving. Keep going forward. And I know how hard it is. It's difficult. I'm in the season. That's why I could talk about it. Because it's hard to move on what God says. It is difficult. Jakeithia put in the comments, thank you. If you're not actively listening to me, you are literally messing up the movement of heaven on earth. I'm trying to do things on earth that are heavenly. I need my remnant to be listening to me actively. And if you are not, you are messing up what I'm trying to do in the earth realm. I'm trying to bring heaven down and you messing it up because you ain't listening to me.